Ever wondered why it's so hard to wake up and smile when all the hustles made you anxious and upset your bile? Ever wondered why we're caught up trying to make ends meet, forcing a calm demeanor to shake some hands to greet? Ever wondered how the days are passing by so fast and the cities that don't sleep are only addicted to naps? Ever wondered how the cycle of day and night makes no difference to the people whose every day is a fight? Ever wondered why the streets aren't always safe for girls, why the boys are brought up thinking they're all dukes and nerds? Ever wondered why they wrote up religious scripts that discriminate and segregate through tales of myths? Ever wondered how depressing advertising is? Fake faces, fake tales, and fake sales for fake bliss. Ever wondered why the media's controlled by men in power? Only selective information makes its way through towers. Ever wondered? Ever wondered? Ever wondered? Ever wondered how we told only what we're supposed to know, and why people had secrets secured tenfold? Ever wondered why the paradox is on repeat? The rich in air conditions, the poor facing the heat. Ever wondered why the skyscrapers shadow the slums? The working class has to dance to industrialist drums. Ever wondered how we can't make some dreams our own when we're trying to buy houses but we're stuck with loans? Ever wondered why the world goes into recession when there's enough well to feed 100 nations? Ever wondered why they're making airstrikes for land? Futures of whole countries buried in sand. Ever wondered how the pulse of the earth grows weak as we're pillaging and destroying every acre of green? Ever wondered how we claim to be the alpha race and blow up all other habitats in the greed for space? It really makes me question my place. It really makes me think of this disgrace. Can we ever wonder to be better every day? Can we ever wonder to change our ways? Can we ever wonder to find harmony? Can we ever wonder to find true peace? Ever wondered? Have you ever wondered? Ever wondered? Yeah. Ever wondered? Have you ever wondered? Yeah. Ever wondered? Have you ever wondered? Ever wondered? Have you ever wondered?
Hello, Pratika, my old friend. Welcome to the studio. Welcome to Made in India. Your first time.
Yes, my first time, and I'm glad that it happened now and it didn't happen before this, because this is the perfect time.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel like it's the right time where enough of my artistry has kind of come out and enough of people have seen what I'm trying to do in the various different spaces and genres that I'm playing around with. So it is the perfect time, definitely.
So, you know what? The first time I ever saw you live perform was actually at a wedding.
Himanshu and Saiba's wedding.
Yeah.
The Sahi wedding.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I think you were singing like a Foo Fighters song or something. I can't remember. It was like some rock song or something. And
Soundgarden, yeah. It was
Soundgarden.
Soundgarden, Aerosmith. That was quite a selection, huh?
Yeah. And for me, I kind of had this moment where it was like, you know, it was one of those like head turning moments of like, who is this person? And like, who's this voice? And there was this like, you belted out these songs, like it came to you so naturally. And that was the first time I ever heard you. And I was like, you're amazing. And I'm like, how are you not making your own music? I was like, what is this dirty cover band doing?
No, and imagine that was my cover phase. And that day itself, I was going through a horrible breakup.
What?
So everything I was singing was just like out of belting emotions in general. It was really bad. I think I may have even screwed their wedding up because of how much I was crying all over them only.
They're like, congratulations.
I'm like, he's like, bro, I'm getting married. This is like love is happening here. And
Oh my God. And you're like, I'm dying inside.
yeah, but yeah, perfect mode or headspace to be in when you're singing a Soundgarden song.
Yeah.
So
No, it was perfect. And I genuinely, like, that was a moment where I realized that, like, you should be, I was like, why are you not making your own music? You're amazing. And I think singing came, I don't know if it came naturally to you, but did you grow up where, like, you were singing in church, this, that?
yeah, I
like, was
actually
that?
was for a year, maybe a couple of years, when I had to receive confirmation as the Catholic side of my family needed me to do. That at that point I did sing in the choir for a couple of years, but then they used to also make me stand behind because height and very loud. You are very loud. Matlab,
So
please
you were
calm
doing
down.
a choir, annual function, all of that.
Yeah, and I used to get solos in the mass during what do you say?
Wow.
During like offertory or during like when they're serving communion and all that time they used to give me solos. So I was like, what was the song? I would passionately sing all that. Yeah, it was damn funny. But that was the briefest singing I've ever done in a group space, or I've never really officially learned how to sing. It's always just been something that I really love to do, and I fell in love with a lot of grunge vocalists, a lot of new metal vocalists earlier when I used to listen to music. So I've always wanted to do like a very different kind of vocal style. So even the singing stuff is not your typical pop vocal kind of stuff, you know. It's like a little offbeat. You find a little bit of Alice in Chains, a little bit of Limp Bizkit, a little bit of sprinkles of corn everywhere.
Yeah.
So
Did you feel like, I mean, was that the moment that you realized that you had like a vocal ability, and then you're like, oh, I actually sound pretty good?
I had it, but I wasn't confident because I knew there were so many more people that were probably classically trained, or considering how big India is as a country, there are so many vocalists. Like, what is one vocalist gonna do to change anything, or how am I unique or whatever?
Yeah.
But then I was in a metal band, and after some time I started growling.
Chronic Phobia?
Chronic Phobia.
Previously called Cooperative Cemetery.
Oh my God, you've dug deep into this. It's like Sean Evans or Hot Ones. He asks like these weird questions. But yeah, so Chronic Phobia was a very important part of my life because I started playing bass in the band when I was 12, which was somewhere in 2007. The first gig I played was in a classroom in Podar College in the band competition Elims. So after 2 years, I realized I was a better growler than the actual vocalist. So then I started growling, and then I just shifted off bass. I was doing only vocals. Band disbanded already by the time I was 17, dude. So when I'm in the 12th standard only, it's done.
This is your brother's band.
Yeah, with Pritesh on drums. Yeah, Charan on guitar. If you remember Charan Singh Pathania, who is also now writing songs for Lisa Mishra and this and that.
Oh my God.
And like random web series things he writes also randomly for me sometimes. Yeah, it was a very tight lineup. It was a very nice thing we had going, but we were all kids, man. So it was very easy for us to just be pissed with someone or just get flustered and like, oh, I'm not doing this band anymore. I'm like, guys, what about me?
So dramatic, right?
Very dramatic.
Very angsty teenaginess. But it was your brother's band, so like when the bassist wasn't there, you joined playing bass?
So we got another bass player who was then the bass player of Providence, Kanti, if you remember.
Providence.
Yeah. So they both were also in Providence. They joined Providence, I think later. Providence formed because we used to meet a lot of jams. Shehzan was a very old friend of mine.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's just how it went. That band disbanded. After that, I'd just been left with playing in cover bands at a Hard Rock Cafe every Thursday.
I actually wanted to understand for me, because like one of the things that I found super interesting about you particularly is that like in a lot of, you know, moments where you've talked about like growing up and, you know, being someone who was like really into metal, I would say that would you agree that you kind of came from a very typical sort of middle class family, living in Bandra, that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Did they at all understand? Did your family understand what you were doing?
No. So my dad was into Hindustani classical.
Oh.
There was someone who used to come to his house to train his sisters, and also he had been very, he's always just been listening to classical. Whatever pop came out of Bollywood and stuff, okay, at the time when it was relevant. But when he used to listen to stuff, he's like, what the fuck is happening? Like, what is this? My mom was like, okay, it's so energetic, powerful. My mom used to be like, I probably relate to this because like Tina Turner is so metal. I'm like, she's not, but I get the heaviness of it, and she relates to the heaviness.
I mean, she had like, I don't know. But so they just didn't understand. I mean, your mom.
My mom kind of did because she came from like a family of musicians. My granddad used to play like 6-7 instruments. So she kind of got it, and because she was so dabaud in her life from going out and playing a lot of these shows and this and that, she used to let us do it very freely. So even during exams and stuff, she'd just be like, I know you're not going to write your paper nicely if you don't get to do what you want. So just go and fucking play the gig. Wow. So during my 10th boards, during my 12th boards, during my finals, whatever, my graduation, I've played gigs throughout. There has not been a moment where she's been like, no, you have exams, so you can't go. But it was all her. I must give her that credit. She really let us out.
Cool.
Yeah. And I got like great grades, dude. I got A's in everything after I played those gigs. And we won competitions.
The formula for what would work.
Because I guess she was also stubborn like that. Like mother, like daughter.
But I also found out, and is your middle name Evangeline?
Yeah, it is. It actually is.
So who is Evangeline? Who's this lady? Do I know her?
She's this little Catholic girl from a house in Bandra who goes, amen, what men, fuck men. But yeah, that's kind of what gave birth to MC Pep. Like the PEP is like Pratika, Evangeline, Prabhune. A lot of people didn't get it first.
Oh.
And then I stopped using it because I thought it was kind of lame also. I'd like going with Pratika. But
no, fair enough. But Evangeline just seems like someone totally different. I feel like you're going to come and you're going to be wearing some Victorian gown. Oh. Hello, my name is Evangeline.
Say a prayer. Deliver the message.
So, I actually looked up Chronic Phobia's like discography. I know 2 songs, Paisa De and Scribble. Do you remember those songs?
Yeah, fuck yeah. Your girls, it's not a lie. That was not me on vocals. I was playing bass at that time.
Oh my
and I had this really funny singing parts in the middle.
Yeah.
So I used to write lyrics for the band even then. That is one thing I've always been doing. Even not being the vocalist of the band, I used to write lyrics.
Yeah.
Because I still like poetry, I guess. So that was something. And then I realized there are a lot of bands whose drummers write lyrics, whose like guitarists write, like Meshuggah, for example. And I'm like, okay, that's not a wrong thing to do. I mean, even in the industry, different people write lyrics for different people.
I mean, I feel bad for bassists in general.
At least I had like one other thing to do, no?
Correct, yeah. I mean, not all bassists are as talented as you are, but like, I'm just saying.
I was really not.
So you know what? There were like a couple of... So I went like super deep dive research. And I'm not exactly sure which year. I think this must have been maybe 2014 or something. There is this young biotech student from Indore that wrote an entire blog post about you on her blog called The Butterfly Effect. And I'm like, I found these bits of her little blog post that I'm going to read out how she describes you. And she was like, for those who do not know her, unluckily, let me introduce you to the bassist turned vocalist of Chronic Phobia, a well-known experimental metal band from India. An 18-year-old who chose to be a metalhead when other girls of the age hardly think of looking onto their math book. And I was like, this is so amazingly dramatic. But I was like, there is a young biotech kid in Indore who knew who Chronic Phobia was.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Isn't that mad?
It's crazy.
How old would you have been then in 2014?
14, I must have been like 20 though.
So she must have been like, I think something...
she may have written it a little earlier and then transferred the blog or something. I think this is Priyanka Das.
Yes!
Is it? Because I remember that article, and there was another one where they used to talk about how I love to wear pajamas on stage because comfort is priority. I remember those 2 articles very distinctly because of like the way they had written about me. And no one had ever written about me until then.
That must have been really exciting.
It was
in some
amazing.
way.
I felt really nice. She called me the Indian Angela Gosso. I'm like, whoa, that's a compliment.
You would have been blown, right? It's arch enemy, right?
Yeah.
That would, I mean, I and for you also, it's so validating, right?
Yeah, like I'm Anjali Gosauli. So yeah, that was a fun time, man. And
so I'd say one thing that kind of came across through a lot of the research that I'd been doing on you was that you've always kind of talked about how the metal scene was so nourishing and supportive of you and what you wanted to do. Why and in like what way?
I never faced any, like whenever I'd go to a gig or if I was on stage, I'd never face any kind of discrimination or no one would look at me differently. You know, like just from a visual sense also, like, you know, give like dirty looks. So everyone should just always be like, hey bro, wah bro, whoa bro. We're going for a gig, bro, Pune bro, can I sit in the cab, bro? Everything was like very bro the whole time. So I fit right in because I was like, yeah, bro.
Yeah.
And I've just been a part of that scene for such a long time that everyone grew used to me from like childhood. Like even the friends that I have today who might be like 35, 40, at that time also knew me and they were like 20, 25.
Yeah.
So I've always felt comfortable because I've always had that pocket in like a community that just didn't really give a fuck of whether I was a girl or not, except in a few very typical misogynistic instances like I mentioned in growing up. Very rare. Like that would also be like I can count on one hand who those people were. Yeah. But they've been very supportive throughout, man. Like I've just felt at home at a metal gig. Anytime I've ever gone to a metal gig, I meet at least like 40, 50 people I know. Yeah. At least, if not more. It's like home. It's
That's
the
so
community.
Nice. I feel like, I mean, I think you've even mentioned previously in interviews, like people like Sahil Makija and all that, who being so, I mean, even for me, and I'm not even like, it's not like the metal scene has really been, but Sahil is like one of those people who, like I've gone to him for advice about like, I don't know what to do with my YouTube channel. And he'd be like, come, let's meet and let's catch up. And like, he's one of those people that is really, I don't know, like he's a really giving person. And I also feel like he's really misunderstood. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe. Or maybe.
The range of things I've done with Sahil over time is just crazy. I started off, Sahil was the first guy to make me write a press release when I was 15.
Are you serious?
Okay, and he was like, wow, you know how to do this. I was like, yeah, it's report writing, right? We learned that in school. And I was still in school at the time. And he's like, okay, you want to do this? I'm like, yeah, I used to run Demon Stealer Records at the time.
Yeah.
And he used to promote a lot of extreme metal from other places in India and from India outside, obviously. So occasionally there'd be a time where I'd have to send a few people the press release and stuff, like your Rolling Stone, this, that. So from there all the way to I was helping produce Headbangers Kitchen at one point. I've done social media for Demonic Resurrection and Headbangers Kitchen. I have sung on Demonic Resurrection songs.
Are you
I've
serious?
done 3 songs, I think. I don't know if anyone else has sung those many songs with DR because I don't think Sahil features a lot of other vocalists. Honored in that sense also. But Sahil has been a really important and vital force in my life, to be very honest. Like, props to him, man. And his food is fucking great.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Fucking great. I used to go for those Headbangers Kitchen episodes and get to eat afterwards.
I'm so jealous. And for me, I sometimes would like read his blog recipes because they just brought me joy. So what's the second song you're going to play for me today?
Ooh, so the second song I'm going to play is actually the title track of my EP, the latest one that we released in October 2023 called Growing Up. And it's a slightly gut-wrenching one, so be prepared.
I have to say, talking a little bit about listening to that EP, firstly, it's you and your brother collaborating again, which is kind of nice, like the two of you. And I think it really works. You guys seem to have something in that record, like, feels right. And Growing Up is it's visceral. Right? Like what you describe. And honestly, when I was listening to that record, I just felt like that rage, it's like every woman has that rage. Every woman has that rage
single woman.
coursing through her veins. And listening to that record, you feel so vindicated. Like I feel like a lot of like what we've all us women have gone through, we bury it in a part of ourselves, right? And we rarely ever go near it. And then this song brings it all up, but not in a way that makes me feel like crap, but brings it up in a way to fight for myself, to feel angry about the way that I've been treated in different kinds of situations or been looked at or felt up or whatever it may be, right? And I think like that, like channeling that rage, I want to say it's liberating. I love it. So up next, Growing Up.
I always thought the world was a beautiful place, full of fun, happiness, abundance, and peace. The sun rose and set, people were good, and I'd learned to be an even better person as I grew older. But then, a boy molested me when I was 4, it was the first time. His face in a coffin being lowered was when I saw him the last time. The second time when I was 8 in SL World, a house of mirrors turned into a house of horrors for a little girl. A mechanic next door asked if I want to play bad ball. I was so young and innocent, I didn't get his intention at all. A neighbor would stare at my chest for hours on end while my adolescence dawned and I made a bra my best friend. What does it take for you to leave me alone? You've caused a ruin. Growing up in silence, I'm sick to the bone. I'm only human. Boys in school made salivating sounds as I passed their classroom. Jay from the bus called me to his cousin's house to feel my body bloom. A wholesaler's son from the building blew me flying kisses, so his father married him to a simple girl from the village. To get wicked, he also stalked me, called me and followed me to school. He didn't even know my name, but that didn't stop his dripping drool. Some boys from the metal scene thought I used to sleep around to get to places. I was still a virgin, and this is what happens to so many women at different stages. Surely, young me was innocent. My impression of the world was tarnished. It changed forever. It'll probably never be the same. And what I've been through, it's only the tip of the iceberg.
This song was actually not supposed to be in the EP. And
What?
then it turned out to be the name of the EP because we had 4 songs and we
Yeah.
were sure that this is a 4-song EP. And then this was supposed to be a skit. I was just supposed to, my idea was I'm just going to narrate this like a thing, and we'll just put it over some random beat in the background so that sounds like a skit, like someone just talking, and you've recorded it with like a little saturation, make it sound like very old, as a koi बैठ के गप्पा मार रहा है तभी बात कर रहा है
Well, like
types.
that. Like you're narrating the story.
Yeah. But then when we heard, we're like, wait, this is the missing song. And Growing Up is actually the reason the EP was named Growing Up is because the song Evolution of Thought, we're going to start the EP with that song first. And that song, the first lyric is Growing Up was an easy one. Push and beat fumble. Da, 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 da. So that's where the Growing
first
Up
song had
originally
to be
came from.
growing-
Yeah,
no,
it had to be.
Had to be Growing Up.
We realized that.
I'm like, evolution of thought? No, it's fine where it is right now.
Yeah.
Oh my God, so good. So that was Growing Up. I have many more questions for you, Rend. And I think I'm hoping that everyone who hears this song, especially women, because I feel like women really will resonate with it. And like I told you, like we all have that rage. And at least for me, like whenever I listen to that song, as much as it like also makes me feel awful, like, that you or people that we know have gone through that, if not worse, do you know what I mean? And then no one talks about it. It's so upsetting that no one, it's hard to talk about.
It's trauma that you want to bury because, like, why did that happen, right? That's what you're feeling in that moment, is like that disconnection from your body, that just, you feel like dissociating from, like, why would someone do something like that? At the root of it, if I wasn't already, like if I hadn't listened to so much angry music, I don't think I would have reached the point where I'd be able to talk about it. Yeah. Because I'd be like anyone else and everyone else rather, who is okay with, I think that's the thing with a lot of music. People think music's only for fun and it's only for enjoyment. When music can put a message across, and when so many people have used genres like rap, genres like rock to put so many points across, then why are we not listening to that in our music? And why should music only always be about entertainment? Everything's not happy and jolly. Look outside, the sky's fucking grey. Like, things are not okay. In the most simple, to put it like very simply, things are not okay. And you can't keep ignoring that. It is better to deal with that kind of trauma. It's better to speak about it and get it out of your system. It's like, for me, this entire EP was like this psychosomatic release of emotions, just shouting those parts, just screaming, just, it's like shaking it off your body. When you go like hunting and you shoot at a deer and a deer runs away and stops somewhere. The first thing a deer does is shake that disgust or that feeling of fear off its body immediately. Yeah. That is something humans don't do naturally. It's not like a thing that you go in the corner and be like, abhi kya ho gaya? Yeah, I mean, in the simplest sense, it was kind of therapeutic in that sense. I got to do that and like get done with it, in a way. I mean, the feeling still lingers, and every time I sing the song, I'm really angry. All the songs, in fact.
Of course.
But I think people should be open to listening to things so that change becomes easier overall and over time. And just stop piling your feelings up. I know it's very difficult.
It is hard.
It's really not easy.
Yeah. And I think for anyone, I mean, the fact that you're able to express those feelings, like exactly what this is why I'm saying I so resonate with it, because it's so hard to describe, but you put it so well. It is an out-of-body experience. It's literally, you feel like you are it's your body is not attached to you anymore. It is like the weirdest, strangest feeling. And it's awful. It's genuinely awful. You're like, why do I have to be treated this way?
And it's not like, oh man, I mean, that's not even the excuse. It's like, you will be fully clothed from your head to the tip of your nail of your toe.
Yeah.
But that does not make a difference. That different kind of hawas that comes out, which is so, disgust wala goosebumps you get. It's that feeling that you just go into like fight or flight. And it's mostly always flight.
Yeah.
Because you're like, fuck that. I don't want to think about that anymore.
100%.
And it's under the carpet wala things, which...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love the EP. Absolutely loved it.
I love how dark it is.
But I also wanted to talk a little bit about some of the music that you've made. Even like I heard Burn as well, which I thought was it was such a great track.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. And I think one of my favorite lines from that song was that, and I feel it now more than ever, maybe because of the world we're living in, particularly the country we're living in, where you've said, and even though we're free, we're stranded.
Yeah.
Right? Because I mean, yes, we live in a democratic country. Yes, we have a little more control than far worse dictatorships that exist in the globe. But when you say we're stranded is such a particular word.
Yeah.
Because stranded means helpless, right? It's like that feeling of helplessness. It was just I mean, sometimes when you're writing these lyrics, you must be like, this word, not that word. Like, how do you find that?
This was actually my debut rap release as an independent artist.
Come on.
And it was produced by Kam, who is one of the two of Seedhe Maut.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Kam, I was working at Azadi at the time. He just came to the office and he played this beat and I just wrote this on the spot. So with this one, not so much on choice of words, even though they were very wise. A lot of people bring this line up. I see people at gigs also shout this line, and even though we're free, we're stranded. I was like, whoa, wow, someone knows that lyric. It's specific because of this. It's just a collective emotion, man. At that time, I was just like, even if I have to get something done, I have to go through police, I have to go through passport office, I have to go through RT, I have to go through this system, bro. This system is so slow and probably I can say fucked in so
100%.
many different ways. Like, it's so stressful. It's like even when I want to do something, I want to go outside the country, I have to get my passport done. I have to provide papers, all those papers. One small mistake, mom's name is spelled wrong somewhere. Everything's gone for a toss. Reapply, go change your documents. Like, there is no way of getting through anything easy.
Yeah.
Not like I wanted easy or something, but it's just however free you feel you are, and how much ever people say that you live in a great place and a democratic country and this and that, there's just so much dabao from all sides that you're never really completely free. You're like, हाँ ठीक है मैं free हूँ लेकिन मैं इस circle के बाहर नहीं जा सकता.
So you know what?
That
Someone
kind of thing.
said something really interesting to me, which was that our administration, right? We've pretty much inherited it from British colonialism, right? And the administration wasn't created to make it easy for Indians, which is why we feel this constant resistance with, I'm talking about, like, I'm not talking about the freaking constitution, I'm talking about the administration, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's everything. That is the passports, that is like getting
Everything.
whatever it is, right? That you need your ration card, your whatever. And so we inherited that. And even though adjustments are constantly being made within the existing system, we don't feel like they're making our lives easier or helping us go down this path to get what we want to get. Invariably, we're just always met with this resistance.
Yeah.
And it's so frustrating.
It's so annoying, dude. Tell me.
And the crazy thing is, like, it is, and it's all across social economic status. It doesn't matter who you are. No one gives a flying.
The only other way people will give you some attention or anything is paisa do, bhai.
Yeah.
Paisa do. I have that also in one of my songs. Didn't get my passport because I didn't slip some notes.
I get it. Then.
So I mean,
100%. So so listening to the entire record, like, I've loved every song on the record. Like, usually I'm like, oh, this was my favorite, that was my favorite. I loved everything. And particularly, obviously growing up. And then there was one song that made me, and it's the irony is that, like, you're wearing a Korn t-shirt today because Survival reminded me of a Korn song. I don't know if you've heard of Kick the PA.
yeah.
Kind of a little bit reminded me. Just like the vibe. Obviously, they don't sound exactly the same, but it was like, it felt like it. And I was like, when I saw you wear this, I'm going to literally bring this up. Because that was like the first thing that came to me. And I was like, oh my God, Survival sounds like
Yeah,
current
that's one of my
rhythm.
favorite. That's one of our favorite songs, Pritesh and me.
Really?
I mean, like, we are always arguing whether it's that or whether it's one of the songs on the EP, but it's on the EP also, so we're like, yeah, that.
Yeah,
That's the song. Like, it was between Same Mistake and this, but we love Survival.
Yeah, Survival is amazing. I also like Same Mistake, so yeah. So the other thing that I also wanted to talk about is that besides, of course, a lot of the stuff that you're doing with hip hop and metal and, you know, writing your own music, I think you also are so involved with the scene in general. I feel like you do every job that you could possibly do. And I think it's also interesting because I've seen a lot of musicians kind of do this. You're either an artist management, you're an event promoter, you're like this writing press releases and all that stuff, right? And I think invariably there are musicians that do this too. Like Jessie J, like was, you know, started out as a songwriter and then became an actual singer. So I think this happens that you end up finding work within the music industry. And then you know that music is in you, but you want to do it. How do you feel about pursuing that sort of career in music that isn't just singing and making music?
Firstly, thanks for saying Jessie J. I fucking love her. She's like one of my favorite pop vocalists and songwriters for that matter. I started doing all of this, working in the scene and helping put shows together, then eventually getting a job at Bajao where I was like, wow, there's a thing called an events executive. Is this even a job? Like, do you get paid to like do rock and metal gigs? Are you kidding me?
Oh, man.
And I just felt like there was a dearth of people doing that side of things first because everyone wanted to be a singer or everyone played guitar. So after Chronic Phobia kind of dissolved, it was I just finished college in a couple of years after that, and I was like, wow, so let's just get into the job scene, but let's keep it something that's in line with everything I've been doing. I've been volunteering at festivals since I was 15, 16. I was Meshuga's green room manager. I've done the most random things, Incubus, whatever, you'd like name all the cool artists that have come to India. I've worked at that gig in some capacity.
Yeah.
And it's always been like, I remember one thing Himanshu told me, in fact, because he was my first boss at Bajao.
Of course.
So he said, try everything. By the age of 25, 26, you will know what you want to do. Because you'll be able to put like your fingers into everything, figure out what's happening, what works for you, what do you like more.
Yeah.
So he put me on everything, literally. I've done social media, digital marketing, PR, artist management, artist programming, hospitality, FOH management, stage management, and
Damn, girl.
what is left? Sales. The worst thing that I don't really like to do, but I have made fancy PPTs and shit.
I hate sales.
So I pretty much got to do all of those things while I was there, and then by the time I reached 25, I was like, oh fuck, let's just keep doing all of these things. Why stop doing anything? No. And so now I still do random things. You'll see me at behind at Spotify. You'll see me at Lola. You'll see me like, so I also like having that part of life because that's like one business side of things that is separate from me as an artist, even though they both kind of affect each other. I just feel good having and being up to pace with that part of life also at the same time, because I don't know, for me, both the things that I do primarily, which is making music and working in the music business, both have to be something that, I don't know, it's just a thing in my head that I love doing it both, and I want it to be something that continues in my life. I want to have more business and business related things with music eventually, and I want to be a singer and a playback thing, which I'm already pretty much doing a lot of.
Yeah, you are.
So I do choose music more nowadays, but I've always wanted to do both of them because I like it.
Dude, you know, there is
I love Excel sheets.
On So organized. On Spotify, like my team who are doing the research on this, her name is Meghna, she put a link to your Spotify and I clicked on it and it just said Pratika Prabhune Radio. And I'm like, what? And then it's all your playback songs. Your playback songs.
Ah.
Not even your record. It is like all your playback stuff. I'm going to send you the link.
Yeah, please send me that. I only have not seen this.
It's like on Spotify, you have your own like little radio
Damn, that's
station
crazy,
playlist
yeah.
or something. And I'm like, what is this?
Good, yeah, wow. There's random things
got
like
it.
that. Yaatri is there, one of those workout songs for muscle
Yeah.
blaze. Then now, just a few days back, I think last week, I'd done a song in Kalkut, the web series. This song called Tezab with like Jyoti Nuran and Ishita Chakravarti and stuff. Like a good song, man. And it finally came on my streaming, dude. I've been dying. These people don't upload only properly or they always write the wrong name, yeah. And then I have to send them my profile. I was like, I told you this so many months ago. But anyway, digressing. Yeah, that's very interesting that you're saying that
There
so many
is
things are
a-
popping up like that.
yeah.
That's crazy. Okay.
And the other thing is that I think also working in the music industry keeps you also really like feet on the ground. Like you have your, finger on the pulse. You know what's taking place, what's working, what's not working.
You
You're
see
able
both
to-
sides. The most important thing. You
100%.
see both sides.
Yeah.
And then you decide as a human being what is right. Because you're always going to fall into these loops of arguments with either as an artist or as an organizer. And then when you're in the center of both sides, you're able to explain to both sides better.
Oh, 100%. And then you also know exactly what you want and how you want it. You're also problem solving so much faster because you know exactly what needs to get done. Either way.
If someone comes to me and be like, this artist needs a separate toilet. Right, and any organizer will be like, oh the fuck, who is this artist to have a separate toilet? Then there might be a reason which I will understand and convey, which is when, those bridges kind of, this is a stupid example and this has never happened before, but I'm giving you an example
It
of
might potentially.
it really helps.
So I also have like a couple of other things to ask you, which is that you have a hip hop crew, right?
Yeah.
Called Wild Wild Women.
Yeah.
Which I think is amazing. And it's actually originally started with Kranti Nari and hashtag Preeti in a park in Andheri East. Is that true?
It is true. It's the funniest story. So they were at some other gig and in their own boy gangs, they met afterwards. They were eating dosa. They're like, I know so many female rappers. She's like, I know so many female rappers.
Yeah.
Like, let's host a cypher in Marol Art Village and call all the female rappers. And I'm like, the only connection I have to all of this is Kranti Naria. And you knew her and she's like, Abbe, sab rapper log aa rahe, chal na. I was like, chal jate hai, bro. I went there and I've seen like fucking 10, 15 female rappers and I'm like, I've never seen this industry or these people because I was very new at that time. I was mostly in my own metal world and I've gone for this one random cypher that happened and someone said all female. I was like, yeah, all female are power to women.
Support the scene and all.
Yeah. And I went and then everyone was spitting one after another. Everyone had such unique voices, languages, styles. And we just met afterwards and we were like, bro, ek cypher track to banta hai yaar.
Oh,
That
wow.
cypher track was what made Wild Wild Women after the physical cypher in person.
Nice.
Then we were like, wow, let's just put all our verses introducing who we are into a cypher track. Once the track was ready, I shot that video also. So,
Everything will go down.
I edited it also. So, the other things that come up when you're doing social media, you learn random shit.
All these kind of
So
things. Yeah.
that's how we kind of got together and we just started making music after that together. That's literally the story. It's just met in a park in Marol for a cypher and then it happened.
And then now you also, I think there was one more artist that joined you guys called J Queen, and you performed at her sister's
Oh yeah, we
traditional
performed
Tamil
at J
wedding?
Queen's wedding in like saris, dude, her sister's wedding.
Wow.
It was amazing because that was the moment of acceptance for her family, for what she did. Because her mother and father saw like these 5 chicks on stage in saris and gajaras rapping and the crowd of like 1,000 people going mad.
Seriously?
And her mom came to all of us, kissed us each on our forehead and gave her a tight hug and said, I'm proud of you. And that changed J Queen's situation at home forever. Now they're okay with her being a rapper or just doing
really
music.
sweet.
Yeah. That was a
This
really
is what
important
this is how
moment.
much it means. Like, I don't think people realize like how hard it actually is to be able to do the things that you really want to do, even as a woman.
As a woman, yeah.
God damn. So also, I have to say one thing is that I watched a documentary, Lamp of Gods as the Palaces Burn. It came out in 2014. And you're in it. Like, there's a whole section with you in it.
Yeah.
You're in this Lamb of God documentary?
Yeah.
You look 12.
I was 18. But yeah, I
You
looked
look super young. Then it's like you in a rickshaw, and then you're talking about the scene and metal and why you do what you do. And
yeah.
oh my God.
And how it's so weird to have tattoos and sit around people in the train, and how no one comes and sits next to me and there's no place to sit.
Yeah.
Because that was true for a very long time in my life, man. It felt very awkward because I'm like, I just wear black. That's literally the whole
They
difference.
wouldn't sit next to you?
No, and just like, kajal, black pants, black t-shirt, black shoes. So, oh God types. Which is okay. I think it was just a thing that people had to get over. It was like a temporary shock kind of thing, which eventually passed. But it was different back then. Literally 5 years after that, everything changed. Like by the time the documentary came out, which was 2 years after it was originally shot because the whole situation with Randy Blythe and all happened. By that time, almost it had dissolved. That whole thing was, people got used to it. There were more girls, more metal chicks roaming around the city, I guess.
Yeah.
More girls who travel in the train and stuff. So, yeah, I was in that documentary as a person featured from a part of the world where there is a lot of socio-political turmoil. And it was completely fitting because I think a couple of years before that, the blasts had happened at Taj and the whole hostage situation. So they're like, we definitely need to get someone from India. So they contacted the promoter here who was getting them down for SummerStorm. And he was like, yeah, there is an interesting story. There's a girl who stays in Bombay, young Lamb of God fan, used to play bass, growls. And they got in touch with me and I was like, fuck yeah, I want to be a part of this. How you're asking, I want to be a part of Lamb of God's documentary. Then I met them and all and I was like, oh. But that was the day that meeting them also kind of changed the way I as a work person deal with international artists. Like now it's not like, oh my God, I'm such a big fan, please sign my chadde. Like I don't feel like that anymore, and it's easier for people to hire me because I don't get excited and like, I'm not a fangirl in that situation or moment. So that incident particularly just made me like neutral to meeting, and I mean, I'm still really excited. I cried through Incubus's set in entirety, okay? But yeah, there's that little less key, oh, can I just have a picture with you? Wala feeling kind of settled down because I was like, whoa, I'm in that documentary. And they met me, like, wow.
It was happened. Like really, I mean, you were great. Like I said, you look so young.
Yeah, and my voice was like this. Metal is actually not a popular genre in India. I
loved it. I thought you were super cute. Also, I found, like, I don't know if this is true or not. Did you do a course in astrobiology and the search for extraterrestrial life?
Yes, I also have 2 certificates in archaeoastronomy.
What?
So astrobiology is a separate thing. Archaeoastronomy is a separate thing.
What is this?
Astrobiology is the search for life or life forms in different parts of the universe or different star systems on different planets. How they detect a certain planet is capable according to our standards to have and harbor life, and the various methods they use to kind of figure that out.
How did
from
you
a distance.
Do this course?
This is another secret part of my life which will come out by the time I'm 40. I'll start writing movies and all, I'm sure. But I am a huge science, sci-fi, everything to do with like space and geology and astronomy and anything that has to do with those kind of sciences I absolutely loved. I've written my own fiction, which I'm going to keep very secretly for a very long time with me. But that's a whole different side of me that I mean, it comes out. I'm writing some stuff in a very concept note way also.
Is your next release going to be at all related to the sci-fi-ness of your life?
Not completely only the sci-fi-ness, but I have some personal stuff I'm working on in a very weird space that is completely on this sci-fi construct. It's all deep in space, traveling for years without seeing a sun, that kind of stuff, because in deep space there is nothing. So there is a lot of stuff happening like that. But I do these courses from time to time just to keep like my mind fresh and to learn something new. Archaeoastronomy is the study of how things on Earth and sacred structures and places have been built based on the stars in the sky. and why they were built as such, and that kind of study. How, you know how like there are some things like in solstices, there'll be through those khidkis of the mandir only the sun will come up exactly in that spot. That event is called a hierophany, but it's basically all of that, where that happens in which part of the world. And I did one international course and I did one Indian course specifically on archaeoastronomy. So it's always fun.
Girl, I'm waiting for this stuff to come out.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff too. There's a lot of written fiction also.
I need you to put down. Thank you. So, what are your plans right now for, besides this like sci-fi film that you're going to write? What are you working on at the moment for 2024?
Working on a couple of collabs. Very tasty, interesting ones.
Yeah?
Can't wait. One's with a very heavy band. One's with a beautiful vocalist from the south.
Oh.
You know her, but yeah, we'll just wait for it to
You're
happen.
keeping it under wraps?
Under wraps. But
shame on you for saying that on the show.
There's those things happening. There's I have a couple of is it 2-3 web series ka songs that have to come out?
Damn.
Around 3-4 songs there.
You busy, girl.
Busy. Just working on doing more music than other things. We're working on pushing all of the ads and the other things that I do, so I get more playback vocals. So I really enjoy that because they let me write lyrics also many times.
Oh,
so
nice.
I get to like creatively just exercise my brain juice. And it's super fun.
Get your inner Javed Akhtar
I work
out.
better on like project basis stuff. Like I can't stay in like be at a fix, do the same thing like every day for like 5 years.
9 to 5,
I don't think so. Brushing is the only thing I've given that much. There is nothing else besides brushing that I've done every day for all the years of my life. So
I get it.
Yeah.
Last song? What you gonna play for me?
Yeah. Oh wow. So the last song also is from the EP. This song is called Same Mistake. It's about it's sort of like a diss to like guys and people who think that it's easy to fuck with women. And at the same time, the chorus is like a plea to people in general, saying that like you can't keep ignoring us. You can't keep ignoring our problems. But what we all collectively can do is avoid making the same mistakes that people before us have, in terms of the misogyny, in terms of everything that has just made life for women so difficult. So, like, don't make the same mistake where, you know, things repeat themselves in front of you when you can change your destiny. And all of us can do it collectively. So, next up, Same Mistake. Look at him, dude. Check this. If I spend one whole day taking them jabs at you, checking the mic 1, 2, it's simple. I'd pop your ass like a pimple, dropping red flags even in your dimples, pushing oppression back, reversing your thoughts to make you cripple. So I lose, I can't accept defeat. Can't take it when a woman speaks. Looking up my vocab in the dictionary while you're picking up issues like worms with your beat. Like generations gone, your ideologies remain obsolete. You ain't ready for the steady annihilation. Even spraying water guns, things like an operation. Can't take a bunch of proud girls swerving every day. I hate being part of a bouquet of needles in a stack of hay. Cause I'm bringing the heat, raising the temperature. 1 in a million, trillion, gazillion of miles above. Coming with lyrical finesse, living every day braver while you're entangled in your mess. I'm not gonna be hung up. You can't sweep us under the rug. Don't make the same mistake twice, where history repeats itself in your eyes. We can change our destiny for all of humanity. Don't make the same mistake twice, where history repeats itself in your eyes. We can change our destiny. You can't fuck with me, I'm way out there. Some of them say, I don't know who they Jon Snow. Man, chop the motherfuckers levels from the sound console. Omit the shit out of him with the drum solo. I have to think twice before I call
call a guy my beau. Some fucking assholes lack the sense of equality to the bone. For a few days I've been thinking how I'm sick of being treated like a pet project. I always hated being called your hoe. You choose to stagnate, so you mess up your prostate. How the hell you gonna get off and your glands will cooperate? From head to toe, the story's got it thick, like the blocks you couldn't stick your fingers in. Legit fucking break. Sick of being objectified, raped with your naked eyes. So many years, people talking shit they think will fly. Again, you're holding us down like we're from out of town. Equality's knocking, better not open the door with a frown. Better not open the door with a frown. Yeah. I'm not gonna be hunger. You can't sweep us under the rug. Don't make the same mistake twice, where history repeats itself in your eyes. We can change our destiny for all of humanity. Don't make the same mistake twice, where history repeats itself in your eyes. We can change our destiny. We can change our destiny.
Don't forget to like, share and subscribe or they won't let my family go.